In 2026, Future isn't just part of modern music history. He is the system it runs on. From Atlanta mixtapes to global dominance, Nevada's Demon Wilburn turned a unique sound into an $80 million empire built on consistency, culture, and control. One night, he is inside a $16 million Miami waterfront mansion with glass walls facing the Atlantic. The next, he is moving through cities in a fleet of million-dollar machines or leaving for private jets that never touch commercial terminals. But what makes Future different isn't just the luxury. It's the fact that he became one of the few artists who can shape the sound of a generation without ever needing permission from the industry. But look past the yachts, the private G650 jets, and the 2026 luxury fleet, and you'll find a man who exists in a state of permanent, high-stakes isolation. He commands a world where he is always seen, but rarely truly known. His Miami mansion is the epicenter of this detachment. It's a fortress of glass and marble on Allison Island, designed for total privacy. It's where the Pluto persona takes over, where he curates music far away from the noise of an industry that never stops demanding his attention. When he moves with absolute purpose. His fleet isn't just a collection, it is a monument to his dominance, prioritizing total control over his environment. When he moves through the city, he does so with a fleet that functions as a mobile extension of his status, totaling well over $5 million in raw value. Parked within his expansive garage is the ultimate luxury statement, a Rolls-Royce Cullinan. You see this in shots gliding through downtown Atlanta. Its massive, iconic grille gleaming under city lights, customized with an ultra-plush interior design for total passenger privacy. Packed right beside it sits his speed demon, the Lamborghini Aventador SVJ. Visualize low-angle, cinematic tracking shots of this V12 beast tearing down the MacArthur Causeway in Miami, its aggressive rear wing and jagged arrow lines slicing through the air. Transitioning from the track-ready intensity of the Lamborghini, you'll find his daily powerhouse, the Bentley Bentayga, a sleek, polished SUV perfect for those high-speed, low-profile airport arrivals. He balances this with the pure, rolling opulence of his Mercedes-Maybach GLS 600, a vehicle that captures the effortless way he navigates upscale nightlife districts. For moments when he wants to feel the road, he turns to his McLaren 720S, a track-focused marvel. Imagine tight, macro shots of the dihedral doors opening upward, highlighting the precision engineering of this supercar. Sitting nearby is his custom matte black Porsche 911 Turbo S, which provides a dark, aggressive aesthetic against a neon Miami backdrop. And when the environment demands total control, he deploys the tactical beast, a gargantuan USSV Rhino GX that looks completely out of place in a luxury setting, showcasing his penchant for absolute protection. But Future's world isn't confined to the asphalt. His status is best defined by his mobility. He doesn't just travel, he commands the skies and the seas. He is a fixture in the private aviation circuit, regularly chartering Gulfstream G650S, the gold standard of hip-hop luxury. Imagine the cinematic sequence, a sleek, silver G650 taxiing on the tarmac, the engines roaring as it prepares for takeoff. These jets, complete with private suites and custom lounges, serve as his mobile office. When he hits the water, he opts for the superyacht lifestyle, chartering high-end vessels in the Bahamas. Visualize sweeping drone shots over a massive multi-deck superyacht anchored in crystal blue tropical waters, featuring jacuzzi jets bubbling and sun-drenched decks ready for a private party. By choosing to charter, he enjoys the absolute pinnacle of maritime opulence without the anchor of ownership. To understand how he reached this level of influence, you have to go back to where it all started: the Dungeon family and the raw, unpolished energy of Atlanta's street culture. His journey was forged in the heat of a city that demanded technical innovation and raw, unfiltered expression just to be heard. He didn't just rise through the ranks. He created a new sound, pioneering the use of auto-tune as an emotional instrument rather than a pitch corrector. This wasn't just rap. It was a diary of the streets, and it struck a chord with a generation that craved authenticity over perfection. When he first signed his major deals, Expectations were focused on radio hits and commercial viability. But Future resisted the pressure to become a conventional pop star. Instead, he transformed his struggles, his heartbreaks, and his triumphs into fuel. Mixtape after mixtape, he refined his delivery, evolved his production choices, and eventually morphed into one of the most prolific and feared artists in world music. The turning point came on the world's biggest stages. From sold-out stadium tours to headlining every major festival on the planet, Future delivered when the energy was at its highest. His performances became experiences, transforming him from a mumble rapper, as critics once dismissively called him, into a genre-defying legend. These nights solidified his status beyond statistics and Billboard charts. They established him as a player capable of dictating the direction of music, a quality reserved for only the most elite artists in any generation. Success transformed Future into one of the most marketable figures on the planet. Global brands recognized his unique appeal to a generation that values culture over corporate polish. His partnerships have expanded his influence far beyond the speakers, turning his name into a valuable asset that bridges the gap between urban culture and international high fashion. Beyond his professional accolades, Future's personal life remains as multifaceted and high-profile as his discography. He has never married, yet his private life is intrinsically tied to his role as a patriarch to 8, potentially 9, children. His journey through fatherhood has been as complex as his career, marked by diverse co-parenting arrangements and high-profile relationships, including a past engagement to singer Sierra, that have often played out under the harsh glare of public scrutiny. While he remains guarded about his family, these personal commitments provide a grounded, albeit complicated, counterpoint to the globetrotting lifestyle of a hip-hop mogul, adding another layer to the man behind the Pluto persona. By 2026, Future is no longer viewed merely as a rapper. He is discussed alongside the game's elite pioneers, a curator of sound, a mentor to the new guard, and the CEO of his own cultural movement. Every project brings new expectations, yet he continues to thrive under the weight of them. Yet at 42 years old, standing firmly at the summit of his industry, the hunger within him remains sharper than ever before. He steps into the booth, the weight of his legacy serving as a vivid reminder of the millions of eyes watching his every move, and the studio lights catch an artist who has already changed the fundamental nature of the game. The world calls him a legend, but he is something more complex. He is a catalyst, a rare artist who turns human emotion into chaotic, beautiful, and enduring art. The legend of Pluto is not merely a story of how far he has come from Atlanta. It is the defining story of how much further he is going, powered by the exact same intensity that carried him to the absolute pinnacle of human creative performance.